Ladies and gentlemen, look at this beautiful bourbon braised beef roast. That's what we're making today. It's a good one. Good morning. I was thinking, what would be a good recipe for the holiday season? What do I want to throw at my audience that won't be plain Jane, but at the same time provides a warm, hearty fall meal, good for the holidays, something that's not the same old. Today we're going to be doing a bourbon braised beef roast. Totally delicious. When you see how this is done and see how easy it is, you realize how easy those, well, Mom used it for Sunday, how easy those special occasions can be. As I mentioned, Mother would use it for Sunday. We'd go to church, she'd come back, the roast was cooked. All she had to do was make some gravy, a couple of vegetables, and bang, dinner was on the table. And so it was just that simple. And you know, it was after a few years I said, you know, I really appreciate how hard you worked on Sunday meals. And she said, you don't realize it. And I was like, realize what? She said, I did that because it was easy. And so I tried it, and sure enough, it's so easy to do just a plain old pot roast. And that's what this is today. It's going to be some beef chuck. It's going to be real good. Let me show you how we do this. Come on. The ingredients that I am using for this fantastic recipe, it's simple. This is a chuck roast. Now here, let me take a look at my weight on this thing. I've got, yeah, it's almost 3 pounds of beef chuck. And if you'll notice, it's well marbled. That is what you're looking for on a good cut. Now this one's a Black Angus. Something I need to mention, if you get something that's labeled Black Angus, you need to know that Black Angus is a label you cannot use unless the meat is at least choice or better. So it's either choice or prime if it's got Black Angus written on it. And if it's prime, it'll have that in huge letters on there too, so you'll know it. This is Black Angus. It's a choice cut, and it is perfect for what we're doing today. This is a chuck, all right? So I like using chuck for this because it lends itself well to slow cooking, and that's what this dish is about. It's about braising, and it's about flavor and stacking flavors, and that's what we're doing here. Beef, I've got water, I have bourbon, I have Worcestershire sauce, onion, black pepper, and salt, and that's all there is to it, folks. That and the right temperature and plenty of time. This is simple enough. You're going to need a pot big enough to hold this and any other ingredients you're cooking. All right, now this is a little bigger than I need, but this will do a lot of different things, and I don't mind the extra airspace on top. Doesn't hurt anything, but it's a good pot for doing roasting. So I'm going to put my beef in there along with anything that comes out of that package. If there's juices, they can go right in there. It cooks up fine, folks, and it's good flavor. Cut up that onion. Doesn't have to be pretty, just slice it up and throw it into the pot. That's all about flavor. And then when you've got that in there, put the rest of your ingredients in and get it in the oven at 275 to 300 degrees. You're going to be waiting quite a bit of time, so just relax. It takes time to cook this roast. The roast right now, that's in the oven. It is about 300 degrees in there, and I recommend you keep this between 275 and 300. It's a good temperature to braise at. Now you can braise at 250 degrees. Slows things down. It's going to add about an hour to your cooking time. It adds a lot of flavor too, and really brings a more subtle tone to that meat. So if you want to slow it down, do so. It's a good thing, and it produces really good flavors. Folks, there you have it. It's in the oven cooking. It's going to be hours. On a roast that size, I expect it to be, well, if it gets done as fast as 3 hours, I'm surprised. But that's usually 3.5, sometimes 4 hours. Folks, I have pulled this out of the oven. It has finished up. It is nice and tender and about ready to just fall apart. It's been about 4.5 hours. I am going to turn the drippings in this pan into a beautiful brown gravy. I'm going to do that with some water, a little bit of flour, and a shaker. And what I do here is I use cold water. You got to remember this. If you use hot, you're going to have bad results. It'll expand, and you'll have hot, nasty flour water everywhere. You want to shake it with cold water, and when you do that, then pour it into your drippings. If you put the flour right in the drippings, you're going to have lumps, so don't do that. Mix it this way, you'll get a smooth gravy. As you pour this in, pour in part of it, stir that, boil it, and then you can judge whether you want more of your thickener. And that's all there is to making the gravy. And I'm going to pour it through a strainer before I go ahead and do that. That's all there is to it. And when you're tasting it, if you need a little extra salt or a little extra acid, that's your Worcestershire sauce, go ahead and add those, okay? Now that I have my thickener in my gravy, I'm going to cook it off for about 15 minutes just to lose that flour flavor. And once that's done, my gravy's ready, my roast is ready, and so are the potatoes. They're right over there. The quantities on our ingredients today, that starts with that chuck roast. It was almost 3 pounds. This was 2.8 pounds of chuck. I used a little extra water to top everything off and braising. 1 cup of bourbon. On that Worcestershire sauce, you're going to want anywhere from 2 to 3 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce when you're starting your cook. And of course, a little more when you're making your gravy if you want to bring up the acid content. Now, onion. This is for flavor, not so much for the recipe itself. As far as a substance, we're looking for the flavor of it, and a small white onion is just perfect for this. Black pepper, well, we're just going to cover it the same way we would if I was using about 2 to 3 times more than I would use on a steak. So you're going to go heavy on the black pepper, and on that salt you're going to go fairly heavy because it's just a large cut, okay? So you have to take that into consideration. With this, we've got almost 3 pounds, so a teaspoon and a half is not unusual on that salt, and about the same or a little more on that black pepper. As it is, I have a beautiful gravy here, a beautiful roast. I just need to enjoy the thing, all right? Let's see if this is cooled enough to touch. Ooh, just barely. This roast is very simply pulling apart, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Now, for the final, and probably one of the most important pieces, a beautiful, lovely brown gravy to complement it perfectly. There we go. That is your bourbon braised beef roast. Oh yeah, oh, it's so good. Hey, when you try it, you're going to be blown away. Wait till you try this roast. Wait till you try the gravy that you get from it. It's delicious, folks. It's a beautiful way to cook when you braise and you're cooking that meat slowly. It becomes very tender. The flavors you get, you can't get any other way. You have to do it through slow cooking. Thank you. Thank you for watching this. If you would, please take a look at my channel, and also take a peek right down below here in the description box. My website is there. That's S.A.Trotter.com. That's where I sell my art, and soon I'll be selling the recipes, aprons, caps, things like that for Texas cooking today. So if you would, please take a look at that. Thank you for watching this, and folks, please have a good day. Bye-bye. Come with me. Oh yeah.